Pen Pals is a story that ostensibly is a Prime Directive story for Star Trek The Next Generation. But it's really just a story that's meant to be cute and kind of sad. So you got this doomed planet, and Data inadvertently makes contact with a little girl on there who's all alone and scared because her planet's exploding. And so Data actually responds, and they strike up a conversation and a little friendship there. And then he reports this to Picard, and Picard is, oh, well, this is society, a warp-capable society? He said, nope. All right, well, cut her off because we can't interfere because that's violates the Prime Directive. It's too bad she's going to burn up and all that stuff, but hey, what are you going to do, you know? And that's the end of the show. Before Data cuts her off, she makes another phone call, and the rest of the crew hears it, and they're all like, oh, geez. Oh man, it's a poor little girl. She's scared. Oh, geez. Oh. So, of course, oh, well, guess what? There's something else we can do. Turns out, once someone finds out everything, because Data goes and gets the girl, beams back to the ship, brings her to the bridge. Picard is like, what the hell? And I assume the transporter scanned her for any nasty pathogens and stuff. You know, whatever alien chickenpox she might have had. But anyway, ultimately the deal is, hey, don't worry, Dr. Pulaski can erase her memories of the ship, Data, all that stuff. And that's just what she does. So Data brings her back. They figure out a way to calm the volcanic storms or whatever the hell's going on at the planet. And they save that society, which is also interfering with them. So, but hey, look, the little girl was scared. And plus, we erased her memory. So, you know, the Prime Directive is just, hey, could you just try not to violate it? You know, which, of course, might as well just take the word prime out. You know, but nevertheless, hey, come on, quit being nitpicky. And that's the situation you have there. Gee, I hope they don't become this new galactic empire threat to the Federation or something down the road. But anyway, ultimately, it's another exploration of Data becoming human. Well, not becoming, he's already there. He's just a little odd, but he's already emotionally attached to this girl. He's even sad that she won't remember him, you know, as he has, because that's the way it's got to be. And as he leaves, so all of that is there. So all, you know, it's interesting, or a bit of a flaw, really, in that Data's trying to pursue humanity, and he's pretty much there already. You know, I mean, eventually you get into where Dr. Soong made a chip that gives you emotions and all this sort of thing, and Data gets a hold of it, but it's like he doesn't need it. You know, he already cares about the crew and whatnot, and here's a poor girl was in danger, and his first instinct really is to protect her and all that. And now he's sad, obviously, demonstrably, that he's got to let her go, and she will never remember him. So that's, Data's already a human being, an artificial one, but, you know, he's there. It's clumsy and whatnot, but so what, you know? But of course, his pursuit of humanity will continue until the show's over, really. The movies, okay, but, you know, the movies don't really count. What does count in a big way for Next Generation and Star Trek going forward is the episode Q, you know. Q, of course, returns yet again with all his godlike powers. And there is mention that he's taken leave of the continuum. And this narrative occurs again down the road. Although, looking back at it, I see the whole thing as he's such a, and the whole continuum in and of itself is such a godlike entity, that everything he did was all about his observation and interaction with humanity, and through Picard teaching powerful lessons to them while seeming to be this sort of mischievous imp. But by the time the show ends, I think that's pretty clear that's how it plays. But, you know, the gods work in mysterious ways, you know, and all that. But here, but that's not the reason this is all that important. What's all very important is, of course, it introduces the Borg. So Q shows up in a Starfleet uniform and says, "Hey, I want to be a member of your crew." And Picard's like, "No, damn it, no. I don't want you around, Q." And all that, because he doesn't like him. And, well, Q is, of course, hurt by this. So he decides to demonstrate how, boy, it would really be cool to have Q as a member of your crew. So he knocks the ship to the other side of the galaxy. And it's going to take him, I don't know how many years, I forget, to get back. Not as bad as the case Voyager was in, but nevertheless, pretty far away. And but instead of trying to immediately get back, they decide to explore things a bit, which, of course, is another point Q's making. Well, that could be dangerous, couldn't it? Meanwhile, this episode also introduces that there's some relationship between Guinan's people and the Q continuum. And, you know, but she basically shows up there to say, "Oh, you need to get out of here as fast as you can." And Picard's like, "Well, what are you talking about? Our mission is to explore," and all that sort of thing. And this also gives backstory to Guinan about her people had been nearly wiped out by the Borg. And so, sure enough, here comes the Borg, and you get the exploration of them and all that. And one of the things about the Borg, which, granted, is pretty much a ripoff of the Cybermen. It's the same idea, you know. But here, in their lifeless, cold, zombie-like appearance, and just in their pursuit of everything must be absorbed into the Borg, was the original approach to them. And by the time you get to the movie where there's the Borg Queen, and she's just another villain, you know, and there's more emotion to the well, through her anyway, and all of that. I think it took away from it. But that's the way it goes. It's like Doctor Who and the Time Lords. Originally, they're very godlike and mysterious, and then as you get to know them, they're kind of bumbling aristocrats and bureaucrats and stuff like that, you know. Not all that impressive, whereas originally the Doctor was terrified of them and stuff like that. Here, the Borg kind of, you know, they lose their luster over time. But here, and originally, it's just, you know, what a formidable force they were, and really the Enterprise was cooked. It was done. You were going to be conquered and taken, and Starfleet would never know what happened to you until the Borg showed up on their doorstep, I guess. But anyway, and the only way out was, "All right, Q, you were right, I was wrong." And then that's it. You're back. Everything's fine. But of course, it ends on a sinister note when Guinan says, "Yeah, but now they know about you." And, you know, sooner or later, they're going to show up. And so, of course, we know that's coming, you know. And at least this threat will be followed up on, unlike the, you know, the infestation, weird bug creatures that attacked them in the last season. They left a beacon. Nothing ever came of it. They just forgot all about it. I guess they'll get there one day. Anyway, so that's the significance of the episode. It can't be underrated, you know. Obviously, it's very important for going forward for what all becomes of the characters, and culminates in probably their best two-part episode that really established that Next Generation had fully arrived and was a force to be reckoned with. So there you go. You meet the Borg, and, well, you'll see what happens next.